something going on, or are people just complaining because they can?
Pretty much.
Okay. I'm frankly more interested in the Royal Rumble going on tonight.
Yeah.
But
What I like is watching certain people complain about certain artists being on there, how they hate seeing them. Yet I can have those same people I see listen to that artist all the time on Spotify.
mm,
I'm like, you're busted. Yeah.
I, you're asking the
So
wrong person.
back to Arizona though, since we were there. Did you hear about the McCain being censured by the Arizona Republican Party?
I heard something about that. I was never a member of the Republican Party in
Yeah.
Arizona, so I'm not shocked by that. I don't blame them for that either, but at the same time, the Republican Party has issues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, they accused them of leading them into a crisis and betraying the Arizona Republican Party with a long and terrible record of drafting, co-sponsoring, and voting for legislation best associated with liberal Democrats.
All right.
Specifically pointing out his involvement in helping to craft the amnesty bills and for supporting the funding of Obamacare and for positions he has taken on gun rights.
Yeah, because he was in favor of the bill that got shot down.
Yeah. But, yeah, we'll see if anything actually comes of that. Because again, he is
He
up
doesn't
for
care.
re-election. Yeah, he is up for re-election in 16. So, yeah, who knows if anything will come of it? But considering he was the Republican presidential nominee a few years back.
Which I don't think people really. I wasn't that happy with it. With him being the nominee, I wasn't happy with Mitt being the nominee
Yeah.
last time. I'm honestly to the point, and I'm sure some people will want to talk me away from a ledge. I'm to the point of just saying, unless it's someone like Rand Paul, maybe Scott Walker, unless it's like one of those guys at the top of the ticket, I'm voting Libertarian. I'm no longer voting for vice presidential candidates.
Since you mentioned Rand, what do you think about, since then the State of Union is in 2 days, what is your thoughts on the fact that there's going to be 3 responses from the conservatives? Because we have the official Republican one being given by a representative from Washington.
Kathy
We
McManus
have,
Rogers.
yes, Mike Lee, senator from Utah, giving the one for the Tea Party. And then we have Rand Paul giving the response for, as I saw in one blog, the Republican Party known as Rand Paul.
It shows the kind of the fight that goes on. I think Rand is doing his own thing because I do think Rand is running for president.
Yes.
I think that Mike Lee is doing it because, he's Mike Lee, and obviously he's timed to the he is tied to the Tea Party, and I have no problem with him giving that. I'm a little curious to see what Lee and Paul have to say, and if they're similar, or if they're different and all. It's Rand doing it. I don't have a problem with it. It just again shows the schism between the constitutionalists or the closer to constitutionalists and those who are perfectly happy with business as usual as long as they're the ones in power.
Yeah, I just think it was interesting that, here Rand Paul kind of once again is kind of going out on his own, and it's pissing off a lot of people. It's getting him a lot of attention, the whole, and it's, the saying, no press is bad press, but same time, here he went, the Republicans obviously had theirs, and, we're kind of gotten used to the Tea Party having their response as well. But who is Rand Paul giving it for other than Rand Paul?
The libertarians, or the ones who he's closer to libertarian to. I have no problem with it.
Oh no, so
I have no problem with it.
I don't necessarily have a problem. I'm just trying to, okay, so if is this the official beginning of there being three Republican parties? Not that the Libertarian is the Republican Party, but I mean, should say three conservative parties, because we have the Republican Party, the Tea Party, which is still officially Republican Party, but clearly which section of it they are. And then now the Libertarian are going to be more active.
No, because Lee is pretty libertarian. I mean, if you look at his stances, he's pretty libertarian. I think Paul is doing this because he may know what Lee is going to say, and there may be things that he disagrees with. I mean, not everybody is going to agree together on stuff. So I don't have a problem at all with it. I think that it just, again, shows the greatness and the problem with what's going on in the Republican Party right now. Because you have folks who are obviously they lean more libertarian. They know that there are issues with the Libertarian Party itself, how organized it is or disorganized it is, how it has some issues with getting people to vote for them, because a lot of people just sit there and go, oh, they're just the druggy party, man, when in reality it's more than just that. And so I think that's the issue that you run into. I'm, again, very curious to see what Rand Paul has to say, and I have no problem with him doing it.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really have a problem. I'm just, where is this going?
Well, I think Rand is running for president unless...
Oh, yeah, he definitely is.
Unless he changes his mind. Unless he changes his mind and runs for Kentucky governor, which I don't think he's going to do, but you never know.
That would be interesting. If he doesn't run in 16, he'll definitely be running in 20.
If he runs for Kentucky governor, and I'm kind of curious about this, because I want to see when the when the governor's job, when his term ends, when Bashir's terms end. All right, so here's the interesting thing. All right, Bashir cannot run for re-election in...
15.
He cannot run for re-election in 2015, 2016. Or he can't run for re-election in 2015.
November 3rd.
That's when the next election is. Now, here's what I would find interesting, is if Rand decided to run there. Because if he ran there, Rand is obviously going under the idea that, something, people need to be governors to
run the full country.
To run the full country. Thank you. So that would be kind of interesting. To see if he does that. Now,
Rand, he's already been representative and now senator.
Rand Paul 2016, and Rand has said he's running for re-election in the Senate. So I doubt it, but I would find that interesting.
So if you look at the Republican primary for it, he declined at this point. He has said no, he will not be running for governor.
He did?
Yes. Per National Review Online.
Okay.
Yeah, he said no, he would not be running for governor of
Okay.
Kentucky in 2015.
Okay.
However, that's 2015.
Correct.
Of course, now we run four-year election campaigns too. So, or that's for president. So, what is it? 2 years for governor?
4.
No, I meant for how long they campaign for their spot.
No. Normally, well, okay, it depends. It could
Right.
be argued that it could be argued that that what that Greg Abbott's been running for governor since a while. But no, it's yeah, about a year and a half.
Yeah. But yeah, that would be interesting if he ran for governor, did a term there, and then that puts us back to him running in 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which,
I don't know.
yeah, it'd make it interesting anyways.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a real quick break, and then when we come back, I know that Katrina was supposed to talk about Kiev, but I'm curious to what is going on in Kiev, and I'm assuming that you paid attention to it.
Yes, I'm actually watching the live stream of there right now too.
All right, so let's take a break, and then come back, and then we'll discuss Kiev because I'm curious about what's going on. So,
All right.
this is
See
next
y'all after the break.
with Jonathan Sangster here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. I'm the producer Taylor. He's Jonathan Sangster, and we'll be right back.
Mr. President, members of Congress, you've been making a lot of noise about taking our guns away. But you might want to review history. 1835, Gonzales, Texas Territory. The authorities wanted to confiscate the big gun that protected that colony. You know what the people said? Come and take it. Because they were willing to fight for their freedom and their guns. So are we.
Come and take it if you want it. Come and take it if you think you can. Come and take it, but I warn you, you'll have to pry it from my cold dead hands. We want the freedom that God gave us, so you best not cross that line. If you want this gun, you gotta come through us and take it.
One shot at a time. Just like Gonzales, we're keeping our guns.
And just like Gonzales, well, okay, one of us is from Texas. One of us isn't. But it is next. And here's Jonathan Sangster.
So our big thing we've been talking about for, well, since it began a couple months ago is the protests in Ukraine and mostly in Kiev, but there have been every once in a while in the other cities of Ukraine as well. A lot has happened since last week when we were discussing it. Totally just lost the pages again. There we go. Sorry. Since last Sunday, the police have tried clearing out protesters a couple times again, and that has failed, leading to deaths. 3 people have now been confirmed dead because of violence with the police. Police did fire live ammunition at the protesters, not just water cannons or batons or shields like they had been doing. And you have over 200 police have been injured, mostly due to fire bombs being thrown at them, and over 2,000 protesters have been injured. But every
What's
time
this
the
all
police... Well, it started back a couple months ago. President Viktor Yanukovych had promised that he would sign a trade agreement with the EU. Then he went back on that and started trying to build one with Russia, freaking out the Ukrainians that he was trying to put their country back under Russian influence and that the Soviet Union might rise again. And the